Morning sunlight streamed through the glass walls of Strathmore Tower, casting a glow on the polished marble floors and the high-tech offices where every action was deliberate, precise, and monitored. Jackie Harper, CEO of Strathmore Tech, leaned lazily against the towering metal sculpture in the lobby, a half-smile playing on her lips as she watched her employees hurry past. A spark of mischief and curiosity flitted through her mind. "You can't even lift this, can you?" she called, pointing toward a stack of heavy server crates that had just arrived. Most employees chuckled nervously and steered clear of the crates, wary of her sharp gaze and unpredictable temper. But then there was Ryan Cole, the quiet janitor who had been tending the lobby for months. He lifted his eyes from the mop, his expression calm. Almost inscrutable, Jackie's voice dripped with mockery, her smile tinged with condescension. "I'm serious. Everyone says you're just a janitor. Let's see if you can handle something real for once." Ryan paused, tilting his head slightly, and without a word, continued polishing the floor, the mop gliding smoothly across the marble. His hands, small and unassuming, betrayed a hidden strength honed over years. Jackie shrugged and turned away, expecting the usual silent retreat. Moments later, murmurs began to ripple through the lobby. Ryan approached the crates, not hesitantly, but with precision, each motion deliberate, almost choreographed. The lobby cameras captured him bending, lifting, and repositioning the heavy metal boxes as if they were weightless. Onlookers froze, mouths agape in disbelief. Jackie, returning to witness the scene, halted mid-step. Her smirk vanished. In that instant, the quiet janitor became the center of attention. That IT wasn't merely about strength. It was the control, the grace, the concealed skill that defied every expectation. For the first time, the CEO was speechless, and the whispers began. Who is this man, really? What other secrets lie behind that mop? Few knew that this was only the beginning of a story that would challenge authority, perception, and the very notion of what it means to be a hero. The following morning, the Strathmore Tower lobby thrummed with its usual symphony of activity. Keycards swiping, heels tapping against marble, the low murmur of conversations. But beneath it all, whispers lingered. Ryan Cole, the janitor, moved with silent precision, methodical in his cleaning. Yet every eye seemed drawn to the crates he had lifted with such ease the day before. Jackie Harper, nursing her black coffee in a corner, noticed immediately. There was something in the way Ryan's hands adjusted the mop handle, the subtle flex of his fingers as he polished the stainless steel railings, that suggested skill and control far beyond a janitor's ordinary work. Curiosity gnawed at her. By mid-morning, Jackie returned to the lobby, ostensibly to check on a new shipment of tech equipment. "Hey, Ryan," she called, her tone softer than yesterday, almost hesitant. "You handled those crates pretty well yesterday." "That wasn't easy." Ryan looked up, his brown eyes calm but alert, a faint shadow of a smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. "Thanks," he said simply, returning to his task. No flourish, no boast, just quiet acknowledgement. Jackie tilted her head, studying him, trying to decipher the man who moved as if the world slowed around him. "You've been here how long?" she asked casually. 6 months, Ryan replied, finishing with the last crate before moving toward the lobby elevators. Jackie nodded, feigning indifference, but her mind raced. There was something magnetic about his restraint, his patience. Unlike the frantic interns or sycophantic assistants, Ryan carried himself with a quiet dignity that felt almost unnatural in this environment. Later that afternoon, Jackie returned once more, pretending to examine a delivery manifest while actually observing Ryan as he wiped fingerprints from the glass doors. This time, she noticed a small, folded piece of paper tucked beneath the mop bucket. Curiosity overcame her. She picked it up when Ryan wasn't looking and unfolded it. For bars of music, meticulously handwritten, the complexity of the notation immediately striking her. Her pulse quickened. So this quiet janitor, he wasn't just strong. He possessed a mind for precision, creativity, and discipline. Jackie felt a twinge of guilt for ever mocking him, but also an insatiable curiosity. That evening, after the lobby had emptied and the janitorial staff had clocked out, Ryan remained behind, polishing the grand piano near the entrance. He paused, eyes tracing the ivory keys as if reading invisible lines, fingers hovering but never pressing down. Jackie lingered near the balcony overlooking the lobby, watching silently. There was reverence in the way he treated the instrument, a respect that transcended mere cleaning duty. She wondered, what stories did he carry that no one else knew? A life interrupted, perhaps. A hidden world of skill and experience. As Ryan finally walked away, mop in hand, Jackie's gaze followed him. She knew instinctively that this man had a past worth uncovering, and that her challenge yesterday had only scratched the surface. For the first time in years, Jackie felt a spark of genuine curiosity and admiration. The quiet janitor had become more than an employee. He had become a puzzle she desperately wanted to solve. 2 nights later, Strathmore Tower had been transformed into a glittering stage for the annual Tech Innovators Gala. Crystal chandeliers scattered light across the polished floors, and servers moved with choreographed precision, balancing trays of champagne and hors d'oeuvres. Jackie Harper, the usually reserved CEO, had reluctantly agreed to perform a short piece on the grand piano. A gesture of goodwill to entertain investors after the scheduled pianist had fallen ill. Her fingers hovered above the keys, a familiar tremor coursing through them. Jackie hadn't performed publicly in over 10 years. Memories of her father's harsh critiques echoed, each wrong note magnified, every pause treated as failure. The lobby, packed with influential clients and board members, felt suffocating under the weight of expectation. She drew a breath and began. The opening notes of Bach's prelude stumbled from her fingers, hesitant, uneven. Eyes flicked toward her, whispers spread, and with each faltering measure her confidence drained. A wealthy investor coughed, smirking as if to confirm her inadequacy. Someone muttered, "Perhaps Mr. Harper should have hired a real pianist." The slip in pronouns stung, a reminder of how often her authority and even her gender were dismissed. Across the room, Ryan stood near the buffet, calm, observant. He recognized the strain instantly. He had lived it. When Jackie's fingers slipped over a rapid arpeggio and the melody collapsed, Ryan stepped forward. Without a word, he approached the piano. The room hushed as he slid into place beside her, coat brushing the polished floor. He lowered the fallboard, and his hands, sure, precise, took command. Notes poured forth, clear and alive, transforming the faltering prelude into something luminous. Jackie froze, stunned. Ryan didn't overshadow her. Instead, he gestured subtly for her to join in. Their fingers danced across the keys in tandem, his guiding, hers following, until they improvised a duet that breathed with unexpected harmony. The crowd leaned forward, captivated. The final chord resonated. Silence lingered, then applause erupted, rolling like thunder through the lobby. Jackie, cheeks flushed, glanced at Ryan, no longer with condescension, but with awe. The janitor she had once mocked had rescued not only her performance but her dignity. For a moment, the power dynamics inverted. The CEO humbled, the janitor revered. Yet Ryan, modest, simply nodded and stepped back into the background. Jackie realized with a shock that her misjudgment of him had been immense, and for the first time in years, she felt humbled and strangely grateful. The morning after the gala, Jackie couldn't get Ryan's performance out of her mind. She needed to know more. Quietly, she began making inquiries, combing through public records and obscure news articles. What she uncovered left her breathless. Ryan Daniels, once hailed as a prodigy in the classical music world. Born in Chicago, trained under masters, he had performed across Europe and North America. Critics described his playing as thought translated directly into sound. Yet, in 2011, he had vanished. No farewell concert, no recording, no explanation. Just silence. That afternoon, Jackie found him in the basement supply room, methodically arranging cleaning bottles. He hummed softly under his breath, a melody both tender and haunting. "Ryan," she began, her tone gentler than usual, "why aren't you performing anymore?" He wiped his hands on a rag, gaze steady. "Music became a cage," he said finally. I loved it, but it consumed everything. My wife became ill. My daughter was only 2. I couldn't play for anyone but her, and even then, not for long. Jackie listened, struck by the weight of sacrifice in his voice. He had abandoned fame and prestige for love, for survival. I left the stage because applause didn't matter anymore. Ryan continued quietly. Caring for them did. Her throat tightened. The janitor she had overlooked carried within him a story of resilience far greater than corporate triumphs. That evening, Ryan invited her to his modest apartment. It was tidy, centered around an upright piano that gleamed with careful upkeep. Stacks of sheet music lined the shelves, annotated with years of private practice. On the wall hung a photo of a smiling little girl. "Your daughter?" Jackie asked. "Luna," Ryan said softly. "She's brave. Fragile, but brave." Jackie's heart caught in her chest as he sat at the piano and played a lullaby composed for Luna. Each note was saturated with tenderness, love, and quiet pain. She realized then that Ryan's brilliance wasn't lost. It had simply been redirected to a life defined by sacrifice and hidden strength. For the first time, Jackie saw him not as an employee, but as a hero in his own right. The next afternoon, Jackie found a small envelope slipped under her office door. Inside, "Visit us. Luna would like to meet you. R." She followed the address to a modest apartment building. Ryan greeted her at the door, Luna's small hand in his. The girl's eyes were wide, curious, piercing in their honesty. "I heard you play," Luna said bluntly, tilting her head. Jackie laughed nervously. Inside, the upright piano awaited, a folder of unfinished compositions resting on the stand. "These are Dad's songs," Luna explained, her voice serious. "But he never finished them. Can you help us?" Jackie hesitated, then smiled. "Maybe, if he lets me." That evening, the three gathered at the piano. Ryan played the first bars of a forgotten lullaby. Luna sang softly, her voice delicate yet full of life. Jackie added hesitant chords, following Ryan's subtle cues. The melody blossomed into something new, an improvised conversation of love, hope, and rediscovery. Hours passed like minutes. The apartment vibrated not with grandeur, but with intimacy. Jackie felt her carefully constructed walls dissolve. Ryan's music was no longer just sound. It was memory, sacrifice, devotion. When the final note faded, Luna tugged Jackie's sleeve. "Can we play again tomorrow?" Jackie nodded, feeling warmth she hadn't known she was missing in that modest room. A seed was planted, one of trust, collaboration, and perhaps something deeper. Jackie left that night with the melody still in her chest, realizing she had stepped into a story larger than herself. One morning, Jackie arrived at Ryan's apartment to find him and Luna already at the piano, laughter spilling into the hallway. Luna tapped playful rhythms, and Ryan followed with a gentle counterpoint. Jackie joined in, recording a short clip on her phone, meant as a private keepsake. That night, she uploaded it quietly to her personal account, tagging Ryan. She went to bed without much thought. By dawn, the clip had exploded. Thousands of shares, millions of views. The hashtag Luna and the piano was trending worldwide. Ryan woke to his phone vibrating relentlessly. Former industry contacts, journalists, fan accounts, all demanding his return. Panic clouded his face. "What did you do?" he asked Jackie. "I didn't mean," she began, guilt pressing hard. The video had exposed their most private joy. Suddenly, the world was watching. Opportunities flooded in: record labels, endorsements, interviews. But Ryan hesitated. The thought of exploiting Luna for fame horrified him. Jackie reassured him quietly. "You don't have to say yes to anyone. You can still protect her." Yet public scrutiny grew intense. Headlines debated whether this was artistry or exploitation. Jackie found herself shielding Ryan, drafting careful responses, teaching him how to navigate the sudden spotlight. And the evenings, they played together, just as before, using music as a sanctuary. Amid the chaos, Ryan realized that viral fame didn't have to control them. They could define the narrative. And slowly, trust deepened. Jackie was no longer just an intrigued CEO. She had become his confidant, his anchor. Weeks passed. The frenzy dimmed. Online buzz remained, but Ryan, Luna, and Jackie found their rhythm, balancing music with privacy. They recorded a professional track on their own terms, weaving Luna's playful riffs into Ryan's melodies. The release was quiet, intentional. Fans responded with warmth, respecting their boundaries. Jackie suggested an intimate performance for close friends and trusted supporters. Ryan agreed. That night, in a small hall, Luna sang, Ryan played, and Jackie accompanied with delicate harmonies. The audience clapped not with judgment, but with joy. Afterward, the three sat at the piano together. Ryan began a new melody, reflecting fear, resilience, and hope. Jackie's chords followed, Luna's small hands joining in. It was imperfect, but authentic. Exactly what it needed to be. Jackie smiled, sensing the shift. We've done it, she whispered. We've found our way. Fame no longer threatened. It was merely a backdrop. What mattered was here. A chosen family, a sanctuary of music, and the courage to protect it. One sunny weekend, Jackie proposed a road trip with a portable keyboard. They drove to the countryside, recording melodies inspired by wind and birdsong. Laughter punctuated every note. For the first time, Ryan felt free again, not defined by the stage nor by silence, but by love. Jackie, once mocked for being cold, found warmth in the music they shared. And Luna, radiant and brave, became the heart of their story. The journey that began with mockery and misunderstanding had transformed into something profound, a testament to resilience, trust, and the quiet heroism of lives intertwined. And as the sun set on their modest apartment, the piano sang. Not for the world, not for applause, but for them alone. Thank you for watching and being part of this journey. If the story moved you, like, share, and subscribe to keep the momentum alive. More stories await. See you in the next chapter.